Why? Easy. Yeah. You know what I holler? Do you know what I holler? Do you know what I holler? Yeah. You know the itty bitty city by the water that's steady getting taller. Vallejo.
Roll on you, bitch. Bounce on your hoe. Welcome, everybody. It's the White Bronco Show.
Welcome to the White Bronco Show, everybody. You can follow us on Twitter at White Bronco Show. Tommy is at Uncle Tio's Ninos. I'm at Big Happy Tree. Listen live every Wednesday night at chaoticradio.com. Call in 909-989-0789. Follow our RedTube channel. Look us up on Funny or Die. We're on all of them.
We want to start this episode by giving a shout out to one of our producers in the back, Blaine Humbles.
The great Blaine Humbles.
Easy.
Yeah, Blaine kind of keeps us in check. Make sure we don't get killed after every episode. And he also does a morning show for Chaotic Radio Monday through Friday every morning. Check that out. Is it 8 to 12?
8 to 11.
8 to 11. So check that out.
Podcast after that.
Yeah, and then also, speaking of, we were talking about iTunes a second ago. Leave us comments on iTunes because
it really helps us out, guys, when you rate and review.
We'll just tell you right now, it's a little secret I learned when I was working for someone. If you leave comments on iTunes for any podcast, that's what they judge the ratings off of. So positive feedback on iTunes, yeah, that's how you do it.
Just 5 stars, guys, and say anything so we can get bumped up there and people actually listen.
Hey, and the comments we've got were great so far. Let's read them. Let's read a couple of them real quick.
Some of these made me happy. From King Rocket 73. I've never had my ears made passionate love to like I did with the White Bronco Show. Refreshingly disturbing.
Refreshingly disturbing. That's my favorite one for sure. What else we got?
ASD 1765 said, amazing, listened to every episode and achieved climax every time. Bravo.
I don't know what to say about that shit, but I appreciate it. Thank you. What was the name?
ASD 1765.
ASD. Thank you, ASD.
Yeah. Medium Lebowski says, the show is responsible for multiple spontaneous immaculate conceptions. All forms of birth control, highly recommended while listening, and 30 minutes following.
Interesting.
I think Medium Lebowski might have gotten pregnant listening to our show.
That's what we do. I kind of have the little sexy R&B voice. Also did an episode back on episode 2 with a nasal tube oxygen thing in my nose.
Really?
Maybe that was the episode that their baby was conceived to, hopefully.
Yeah, that reminds me of the time that when I used to be an assassin. I was a kung fu master, and I trained my wife to be just as deadly as I was. And when she got pregnant,
Did you ever respect your wife?
Of course. I always respected my wife.
Okay.
I respect all women.
Was she good after you trained her?
She was probably maybe even better than I was. She studied under my master.
So did you train a lot of people before you trained her?
I did, but nobody as good as her. Not anyone by far. But when she became...
Is that why you're single today?
Well, when she became pregnant, I guess she got scared for the baby's future and ran away to New Mexico and got married to some country schmuck. So I shot her in the head on her wedding day.
Hey, whoa.
And she went into a coma. Hey, asshole,
that's Kill Bill.
That's Kill Bill. It's my life.
No, that's Kill Bill.
It's my life. No,
that's Kill Bill. We have, hey, speaking of Twitter, Funny or Die, follow us on that also. Mm-hmm. We have a new cult following.
We do.
And I don't even know how to describe these people following us now on Twitter, following the show. But first of all, we've been catfished by a lot of like porn star like sex robot accounts.
Naturally.
Yeah, and like they'll send you like an automatic message when you add them, and then
really provocative ones.
Yeah, and we've been catfished like 6 times. But these people with like writing that is I don't even know how to describe the writing.
What do you mean?
It's like in Arabic.
So it's Arabic
yeah,
writing?
So and then they're all Muslim. So we have over 2,000 Muslim followers, and the only thing I can really tell what country they're from, I see a lot of flags from Iran.
Well, this is amazing, and Iranian women for some reason love our show.
Is that is that the you can look on iTunes and you can kind of see what type of people and where they're like listening and stuff. So we have a big following, but it's kind of scary because we on the White Bronco Show make jokes about everything and everybody.
It's true.
And I think that like if we made jokes about Muslims, it would be a very scary situation maybe after one of the shows if we, I don't know, open the doors of the chaotic studio.
Walk into the parking lot.
And it's exactly like Back to the Future when Doc...
When they find him.
No, when they find him for not paying the Iranians for the plutonium. And it's just Doc and Marty, and it'd be me and you in the chaotic, empty parking lot.
Right.
And then there'd just be a van moving slowly across the parking lot.
We wouldn't notice it at first.
No, and they don't either. And then we'd slowly see guys popping out with AKs, RPG rocket launchers, ready to take us down. But you know what? I wouldn't even be scared of them. And they're not our biggest enemy. And they're not our biggest parking lot enemy.
Well, I mean, yeah, if anybody's going to find us in the parking lot and try to beat us down, we know who that's going to be.
I think it definitely would be a big gang of Bull Dyke lesbians.
Yeah, I mean, if there's anything that we should be afraid of, it's
what if our Islamic followers
there's a
who
whole
hated
bowling
us
team finding us.
showed up and then they were just pissed off at these Bull Dykes and we came out to like a Bull Dyke Islam rumble?
What we could only hope is that they both come for us at the same time but beef with each other in the parking lot.
Oh, that would be fucking so funny for us to like walk out on.
Yeah.
Maybe get like
we would know exactly why it's
shot in
happening.
the leg in the crossfire on accident and like we come out unscathed.
Hopefully the terrorists mistake them for us, the lesbians I mean, and
well, I feel like okay, so if we came out and there was like lesbians waiting for us, it would be like this. The leader would be up front and she would have like her 68 Camaro. No Islam music. This is the Lesbos, right? So
sorry.
We open the doors of the studio, we come into the parking lot and there's a 68 Trans Am and there's a lesbian in like a cut sleeved Aerosmith concert t-shirt, right? And she's smoking American Spirits. She's got one foot up against the car and she's just fucking ready to throw down. That's
a scary thought.
Yeah, no, exactly. And when I do like to tell lesbian jokes on stage. So what I do is if anyone ever has a problem with it, and they think that I'm like attacking lesbians, I threaten them with that lesbian. Like she's outside, like ready to kick the shit out of anyone who has a problem with my set.
Right.
So I'm bluffing.
Yeah.
I'm bluffing like I got a cut sleeve lesbo in the parking lot.
But you never
ready to like fucking be like, hey, I'm a lesbian and I support his shit. But actually there's nobody. It's just me making jokes.
Well, you never know what kind of fight you're going to run into. I remember when I was scheduled to fight one of the top fighters out of Russia. But the contract stipulated that I had to train in Russia before the fight, and they didn't provide me with any weights or any sort of workout equipment, so I ended up having to chop wood and haul boulders to get into shape, and I ended up fighting Drago and beating him.
Okay, so you've tried to say that you were Bill from Kill Bill, and you've tried to say you were a Drago, or you're Rocky Balboa.
This is my life. I don't know what you said.
I know.
Maybe my life has
most
mimicked
people,
movies. But
when they hear themselves back on radio or podcasts, they like they believe what they say, and I think you're buying into the last 12 episodes we've done of the show. So now you're just getting caught up with this show and all these fucking movies you've been watching.
Have you had a head injury lately?
Yeah, I know you do jiu-jitsu here in Rancho, and
I don't remember a head injury.
I saw a picture with you and Rousey. Did she kick your? Did she choke you out?
You know,
did you go out?
That was actually Cyborg, Ronda Rousey's number one enemy, and I'm Team Cyborg all the way.
Did she choke you out?
I didn't get to train with her. I really, really wanted to. Hopefully, I can in the future.
Man pythons around your neck and.
Oh, I can only hope, man.
I feel like you've been brain starved a little bit.
Yeah, I do take shots to the head from time to time, but I remember my life.
Next thing you're going to tell me you were born a twin and somebody swept you away and split you up with your twin, and then you found out your father was like the evil warlord of the universe.
Well, I was born a twin, but what happened was genetically I was kind of like the junk genetics that was left over, but then my twin was this like huge bodybuilding like superhero almost type guy.
Let's get into the junk genetics for a minute.
Uh-huh.
Do you feel a detachment syndrome since you were the junk genetics?
What do you mean, detachment syndrome?
Like, do you feel like the runt of the family?
How's your
Sure.
how's your self-worth? It seems a little
My
low.
self-worth is high. I love myself.
It seems a little low.
Are you trying to lube me up, Lane?
Do you suffer from diminished capacity?
Oh, speaking of that, and
Constantly.
on hard times, I want to give a shout out to my neighbor. His name is Steve. We call him Sleepy Steve. He's a longtime Harley Davidson rider.
Shit, you know Sleepy Steve?
Yeah, no, he lives right around the corner from where my mom's house is. So I saw him the other day. I was there babysitting my nephews, and pretty much this was yesterday. He was strapping up his leather, his sexiest leather he has, and some of it's white too. And he was folding that and saving that for after this drive. But
White leather.
yeah, and
White riding
and
leather.
he jumped on his Harley with his sexiest leather, and I was like, Sleepy Steve, bro, where are you going? And he rolled up and he pulled his shades down and he said, probably the most humble thing I've heard a bro say in a while. He said, I'm heading east on Highway 10. The widows of Waco need me. And Steve's going out there to fuck these women who just lost their husbands. Fuck
a lot
them.
of bikers lost.
Yes, that's what he's going to do, but he's consoling them. You know what I mean? He's giving them a shoulder. He's fucking biking. How many miles is that to Texas? For Christ's sake.
That's like 1,500 or so?
Yeah, I told him, Steve, if you bought condoms here, bro, the sun is going to beat those things down. They'll be bad by the time you get there.
Dry up.
Buy your rubs in Texas, Steve. But shout out to him for doing that. And, you know, Waco, crazy fucking place. And in the Bill Hicks documentary, he goes to Waco when it's fucking like when they're having
the Koresh incident.
Yeah, when they're having the standoff, he was there and he went there like and it was interesting. I think it was like he had just done mushrooms like the day before that, and he was like kind of talking about that and then talking about the fucking incident, and it's fucking.
He was the guy that lit that fire.
Yeah, it's always good to have a comedian's opinion, and back then there wasn't a Daily Show or that type of shit. You know what I mean?
No, just Carson.
Just Carson, yeah. And the first time they ever made fun of the president ever was Weekend Update, and it was in the 70s on SNL. And then Weekend Update has now become the Daily Show and the Colbert Report, and it's like takes shots.
Do you like those new
all the
dudes,
time.
Michael Che and that other guy, Jost? Colin Jost?
I think with SNL, it just takes a while to get used to everybody. That's all. That's all.
They're doing all right.
Yeah, it'll get better.
I mean, like when we're doing Weekend Update, it's going to be a lot better. But
I don't know.
Until then, Lauren, I know you're listening.
If you want to be on SNL, good luck.
The season's over. We know who's going to be sitting at that desk.
I have
next fall.
No goals of that for me.
We talked about this.
I'm doing porn, you guys. So check me out on RedTubes, YouPorns, all that stuff. I had sex with a girl who has 3 tits. I'm just kidding. But we're gonna take a break real quick, and when we come back, we're gonna be telling you why we're called the White Bronco Show.
People have been asking.
Yeah,
you're gonna find out.
And we're gonna tell you about some married groupies of the show, married chicks who want to fuck us.
I thought we weren't gonna talk about that.
We'll be right back.
But like how you don't understand, you just don't understand. Check it out though. Sipping martinis, eating scampi and linguine, making blunts disappear like I'm Houdini. Laid up with Asians that know tongue fu, getting blue when I got the call from young.
There's bad radio, good radio, and chaotic radio. In that order.
What's up, guys? Tune in every Monday through Friday from 8 a.m. to 11 a.m. Pacific Standard Time for The Blaine Humble Show. That's right. Check me out every morning, 8 to 11, as we break down all things news, all things sports, all things topical, all the things that you want to know more about. Oh, and I get to do it in my weird way. The phone number for you to call in is 909-989-0789. That's 909-989-0789. Again, be sure to join me every weekday morning from 8 to 11, The Blaine Humble Show, only on chaoticradio.com.
Why? Easy. Yeah. Yeah, holla. Do you know that I holla?
We're back from the White Bronco Show.
Welcome back.
Take the condom off your dick. Put it in the toilet. Make sure you flush it. You don't want your girl you don't trust to take that condom out the toilet, plunge it up her snatch, and, next thing you know, you're having a baby.
Hot sauce technique.
Yeah.
Aaron, have you ever jacked off with a condom on?
I think we all have when we were like in our younger teen years, waiting to actually use a condom and practicing how to put it on and really getting into like a nice
I didn't do it until I was a man.
Really?
Yeah, which is creepy.
Like a few weeks ago?
Just like a grown man. And then my girlfriend tried to accuse me a couple months ago of jacking off into a condom, and I was like, no.
No.
Dude, you have like the lube and the cleanup all there for you.
I just left it on the side of the bed, yeah. So.
Yeah.
Hey, you're going to tell us a story about high school real quick.
Well, yeah, we were just
about
we were talking.
Trip?
We were talking.
We were talking about Florida.
We started getting into Florida over the break, and I remember when I was in love with this girl in high school, and once we were out of high school, my friend who was also in love with her, he hired like a PI to hunt her down because he was just so sprung, and the PI ended up falling in love with her too when he found her, and she was in Florida. So my buddy went down to Florida to find her and to meet back up with her, and turns out she was dating Brett Favre, and she had started dating the PI that was down there originally.
This is all happening again. That is something about Mary.
Well, no, and I would break out into hives and get so nervous about it. It's not something about Mary.
You think you're Woganowski from Something About Mary?
This is my life, dude.
Whatever happened to you at Coachella, you are still recovering from it.
This is my life.
That is some good shit, dude. It's like a month and a half later, man.
A lot of people have been asking us on Twitter, in English and not in English, we're translating. Why are we called the White Bronco Show?
Right, our new fan base.
Yeah, and yes, one time a Native American Indian called me the White Bronco in a hot tub at the YMCA.
She ordained you
up in Washington. Yeah, but there's actually a real Native American Indian, a 43-year-old woman. She's actually an albino Native American Indian bodybuilder. And her native name is Sarah Rain in the Face, but everyone calls her in the bodybuilding, WFPT
circuit.
Yeah, they call her the White Bronco.
Right.
So, basically, yes, that's what the show is. Well, that's kind of there's a lot of reasons why we're called the White Bronco, but we're basically named after her because we have made a clit joke, a big clit joke. Like pretty much every episode, right?
Well,
a 3-pound clit.
Yeah.
And she
kind of based on her.
She is the queen of having a giant clit.
Right.
And I don't know if it's part of an albino mouth.
Well, I think it's probably all the testosterone that she was taking when she was lifting, and all of the human growth hormone. And I mean, the name really is in memoriam to her because she overdosed on human growth hormone and died. That clit became monstrous.
I've read YouTube comments on some of her videos. People say that since she's so white, that when her clit is when she's playing with it, it's like blue almost.
You can see her heartbeat in the clit.
Yeah, exactly.
Interesting.
Yeah. So let's pray to God that the nuns and clits of courage don't get a hold of that thing, because big white clit would not look good pinned up on girls in Africa.
Synergy.
Also, people know this. The show, we have Orlando Johnson Simpson. That's one of our producers.
Our homie OJ.
Yeah, his name is OJ Simpson. So one of our producers' name is OJ Simpson.
I think it's only right.
Yeah.
And he knows Kato Kalin, which kind of brings it all together.
And
They used to do heroin together in the late 80s.
But also, he's our connection to Pornos and RedTube and trying to get our videos out on there.
Right.
Our comedy videos.
If you want, our comments on RedTube are almost better than they are for our iTunes.
And speaking of comments, the show has, yes, we have a big Islamic cult following now, but we also have some moms out there who like and love us a little bit. And
there's something sexy about moms.
Yeah, so there's two married women.
Dude,
they want to have sex with me
Tommy,
and Aaron, and this is the situation. I'm fucking down.
Dude, I don't know.
And Aaron
man.
is not down at all.
I just don't want to, this is how murders happen. This is how people find out about these things, and you don't hear about them anymore because you're buried out in the middle of the desert.
What did Al Pacino say in the movie Heat? Do you remember?
Well, I mean, what did he say?
Let me play it for you. This is what Al Pacino said about how you can die.
You understand what I'm saying? I get killed for telling you this shit.
Killed walking your doggy.
All right, so
you can get killed walking your doggy.
You can get killed walking your doggy. You can get killed anyway. But if I could get killed over anything, I would want to go out getting killed over some pussy. Because
hell yeah.
Fast forward, my little nephews, they're like 18. They're about to go off to college. They're like, yo, they're talking to my brother. They're like, what happened to Uncle Tom, man? We want to know the truth. And my brother will just be like, tell you the truth? Uncle Tom was elbow deep in some married pussy, and he got caught up one night outside the Chaotic Studios, and some fool shot him up. And that's what happened. And that's kind of like the most legendary way to go out.
He was walked in on a cheap motel in Mira Loma by the angry husband. He was wearing a unicorn mask and white gloves. Murdered in cold blood.
So you would not fuck a married woman. You're not going to do this?
Dude, I mean situation permitting.
Yeah. I will call in backups.
I mean, it sounds like Blaine is down.
Well, no, but this lady's interested in you. And to tell you the truth, this is how we met him. They're fans of the show now, but my grandpa is in the hospital. He has testicular cancer. He's okay.
Oh, that poor bastard.
Yeah, he had to have his ball removed. But he's so old school and old fashioned that he has to stick to his morals and principles, and he's like, if you're gonna take one ball, you take both of them. I'm not gonna be some one ball wonder. So grandpa is in the hospital getting both of his balls removed so he doesn't die, but it's he's not gonna just be one ball
thing.
Yeah, and have a fake. He's going eunuch, you know what I mean?
So
and then
gangster.
I asked the doctor, I'm like, hey, do we cremate his balls? Are we do we bury his balls somewhere in a small cemetery? What do you do with them?
Do they do ball transplants?
I don't know, actually. That's
In fact, they do.
Really?
You can get an adebaltomy.
Oh,
really?
like a woman could get balls.
Yeah, it's called an adebaltomy.
Well, not the fake ones.
No, real.
But there's so many veins coming from a ball sack.
Dude,
how do they create a ball sack
with
on
semen
a woman?
production? Do you have the memories of those balls,
Listen,
from the donor balls?
I'm trying to flip my grandpa's
Listen,
nuts.
Do you
I'm broke.
when you pump gas in your car, do you go, man, this is really, can you imagine dinosaurs died and they made oil and then they I don't know. You don't get into how they do it. The doctors can do an adebaltomy. Right. That's all you need to know.
Okay, I had an adebaltomy.
Is that the legit name?
Of course, it's adebaltomy.
Holy
what
shit.
What are they gonna do to you?
Adebaltomy. Have you guys seen the show Botched on E? Unfortunately, I have a girlfriend, so I have to watch E channel from time to time. But
what is it?
They do fucked up surgeries like that. They're adding shit, and they're and they're fixing,
what would you add? What would you add?
Fixing fucked up surgeries.
If you had to add something, to your body.
I would add a fucking David Hasselhoff earring in my left ear.
Like a permanent one?
Yeah.
Pimp.
All right, I would have a little tiny arm coming out of my chest. Like a little one. you would never notice, but just a little tiny arm.
Purpose?
Maybe just to have an extra appendage. Are you kidding me? For grappling? Have an extra handle?
Like I said earlier in the episode, we do know a porn star who did a lot of videos with 3 tits.
That's true.
And the magic of Hollywood. We know her, and we still don't know how those videos were made. So type in Triceratits if you're interested. It's really good.
In aforementioned red tubes.
Yeah. And you can see that. I don't know how they do it. Leave us comments on our Twitter page if you think you know how they added this third tit. But it's like raw footage, like handheld camera. She comes in, takes the sweatshirt off, sits on the couch, and there's 3 tits, and then it just turns into a full porno. And
it's presented by Mafia. From the Mafia boys. Mafia.
So you
are they related to Contusion?
You typed in Triceratits and it came up.
Yes, it did.
Yeah.
Triceratits and then hit video.
Yeah, she's
beautiful blonde girl with 3 tits.
Yeah, she's from around here. We're not gonna say her name, but she's from around here. She's great. I'll tell you this right now. I fucking love that video. How many views it has? I'm fucking 1/3 of them for sure. 2/3 of my boy Jared Bear.
That reminds me of when I was like one of the leading investigators in the LAPD, and a Chinese dignitary's daughter was kidnapped in Los Angeles, and I was put on the case.
Wait, what's her name? What was her name?
What was her name?
Was it maybe Sue?
Sue. That sounds familiar. What did you say?
Suli, well, what happened to what happened to this girl? Regardless.
Well, so she was kidnapped, and they flew in this special agent from Hong Kong, and he pretended not to speak any English, but he was amazing at kung fu. And him and I teamed up, and it was super unlikely, like me being black and him being Chinese. But
all right,
it was a hell of a time, and we ran all through Los Angeles, but we found Suli. We found Suli, and we got her back. And the FBI, they shut him out, but.
This story you're telling me right now is the movie Rush Hour. Your asshole has become a death chamber for small animals and drugs, and it's messing with your head. So,
Tommy, this is my life. And I don't. Maybe my life sounds like different movies that you've seen, but not everything is a movie. But this is my life.
This is why you're my co-host, and this is why we do the show together, because this has been going on forever. And this is kind of some memento shit, but I'm one who loves movie references more than anything. So anytime anyone can make a joke that's like a movie reference, it's the fucking funniest thing in the world.
Who's joking right now?
And no. I'm just saying, like, when people try to do kind of obscure jokes or bits on a movie that maybe not everyone has seen and it still works, that's good shit. But if it's a movie that everyone knows, like Forrest Gump, you can make jokes on that shit. It's gold. Or Rush Hour.
Never seen Forrest Gump.
Or you thought you were fucking Kill Bill. What else? You thought you were Woganowski from fucking Something About Mary.
I don't know, dude. The last time I was this frustrated, I was taking care
Rocky Balboa.
I think you've just run out of material, man.
No, guys, the last time that I was this frustrated, I was taking care of an abandoned hotel in the middle of Colorado with my wife and her kid, but I started to get a little bit angry, and I figured, like, all work and no play makes me a dull boy. And I eventually wrote it down on huge stacks of papers, and I ended up going so nuts I went after my wife with an axe. And
okay. That is the movie The Shining. You son of a bitch. You have lost your goddamn mind. But,
Tommy, this is my life.
Hey, I want to thank everyone for listening. I want to tell everyone to listen to the show that's on before this. It's called Under the Covers with Mark.
Shout out to Mark.
Yeah. Who was their guest today?
Oh, Ira Khan, man.
Ira Khan's out of... I think
Southern California.
Lake Elsinore. Check those guys out.
VoshesClothing.com.
Also on Wednesdays before that, I think 6 to 8, check out Lania Dominguez, Comedy for Causes. Wednesday's the shit. Wednesday is the shit at Chaotic. And you never know, we might get smoked when we step out into the parking lot. Might be the Iranians. Might be a chokehold sleeper from a lesbo.
Come find us.
Hopefully we'll be back next week.
You know where we are. Come find us.
We got Lulu Valencia in studio. We'll see you next week. White Bronco Show.
Yee.
For those who don't know, that means he got the blow. And it's time to turn the blow into mojo. Sell him high, buy him low. Let him fly, let him go.